the victim as a gang member because she needed a motive? Yes or no? And number 3, do you think that the LA city officials are more concerned about a race war than getting to the truth? Yes or no? Please be sure to leave your comments below. Thank you. We'll be right back.
A concerned citizen and activist for more than 3 decades, Leslie Dutton works to ensure you have a voice in government. Through Full Disclosure's online video blogs, she's asking the tough questions.
Where on earth is the mainstream media?
And you can participate.
We want to hear from you on this issue.
Full Disclosure video blogs, the news behind the news, online at www.fulldisclosure.net. Get involved today.
Are dangerous felons being released into your neighborhood? Watch and see how the state budget problems can translate into criminals being freed to prey upon us again and again.
We're at the risk of living in a society where we are being pushed around by criminals because they know there's no punishment. And that is a nightmare scenario for California.
What is the cause of this nightmare scenario? County Prosecutor Steve Ipsen is alarmed that the California fiscal crisis is going to dramatically affect our state prison system.
Governor Schwarzenegger's proposal that he's pushing on public safety to cut our already minimal amount of money spent on public safety and order the early release of all people in state prison, unless it's labeled as a serious crime, 20 months early. And that massive release is predicted by Crime Victims United to release 40,000 state prisoners early every year. And when they're released early, that means they didn't get the punishment that the judge thought they needed to stop their criminal activity. And 20 months early is a huge amount of time.
40,000 convicted criminals released back onto our streets, back into our neighborhoods. We asked Deputy District Attorney Ipsen, would this include violent felons?
The proposal is that if your new felony conviction is not on the serious list of crimes, so those that are not on the list of serious crimes include solicitation to commit murder, would be eligible under that proposal to get this great reduction. Felony evading of the police would be eligible. So you could have a high-speed, extremely dangerous evading. The judge sentences you to 2 years. You basically do no time for that crime. You get sentenced and you're released. It's the sort of let out the back door. Child abuse, elder abuse, animal cruelty, animal torture, almost all drug crimes. It would be a revolving door in the state prison system. And the idea is we need to save money. And the sad thing is, yes, government can save money by not doing its job. By not punishing prisoners and letting them go, we save a lot of money. The problem is who pays the price. And it's the taxpayers that now become re-victimized that pay the price. We see it time and time again. If the offender is not properly punished and does not have the fear of going to prison, they go out there and boldly commit crimes because there's no consequence. Just like with our kids. If you tell your kid you're grounded for a week for this behavior, and then the next day you say, well, one night's enough, they know that they can push you around.
We asked Mr. Ipsen why he thinks the governor is taking the easy way out by not prioritizing the spending cuts.
And I've had lunch with the governor. He's been to our board meetings. I've been up to Sacramento a number of times advising on gang issues. And on this issue, he's wrong. He's making a huge mistake. His idea is he needs to do across-the-board cuts, meaning everyone gets cut the same. He's wrong in this way. Public safety and housing criminals is one thing that citizens cannot do by themselves. You know, protecting the country, you have to rely on the federal government. Protecting California from crime, you have to rely on law enforcement officers to do the investigation, and you have to rely on the state to lock people up. We can't do investigations if our child is solicited for child pornography or abused in some way. We can't lock that person in our basement. And when it's something that the citizens cannot do on their own, government has an obligation to fill it. And other very important functions, everything else we spend money on, making our roads nice and our parks and everything that we value. Citizens can, on their own, contribute. We can clean up our own parks. We can fill in our own potholes in front of our house. We cannot protect public safety and do criminal prosecution and criminal incarceration. So you cannot cut these services because citizens then become victimized. It's asking for vigilante action. I mean, you cannot cut the most critical aspect of government. So I'd ask him, don't cut public safety. In fact, fund it more. We need more prisons to house people so they serve their full and fair sentences.
Mr. Ipsen explained his professional frustration.
And as a prosecutor, I feel I'm completely wasting my time. And I'm wasting tax dollars as an expensive lawyer prosecuting crime when there's no punishment. We need, having police on the street risking their lives when they know at the end this guy's not getting punished. I mean, there are officers who on a daily basis, they're dealing with the gang members who laugh at them because they know there's no punishment. And how do you expect them to risk their lives enforcing the law when the end product of the justice system, and think of all the money we spend, billions of dollars with all the police on the street to arrest people, billions of dollars for fancy marble courthouses and expensive judges that should be paid appropriately. They make a lot of money. And the court reporters and the court clerks and the entire system is a very, very expensive system. And the final level that we're doing this for is justice. And justice, the only way we do it, we don't flog people, we don't cut off a hand if you commit a theft. What we do is say we're going to deprive you of the freedom that we cherish. You're not going to be free. You're not going to be able to see your children and your wife in a family way. You're going to have visits. And we want you to see that life is better as a free person. And so when you come out, get a job and obey the law. We take that last part out. We say, at the end, you're not punished. At the end, you just get out. There's no teeth in our law. We've wasted billions of dollars in the system because we don't follow through. And it's just like a parent that does not follow through. You cannot expect reform if you don't have fair punishment.
Steve Ipsen is president of the Association of Deputy District Attorneys and has a message for Governor Schwarzenegger.
I think we have to tell him on this one, we cannot support you. If our children are going to be victimized, if it means criminals, 40,000 felons being released without punishment, which is what it means, without punishment, not a slight discount, but the same thing that's happening in county jail, virtually no punishment for felonies. We're talking a very deadly game because we need more money. And I applaud his view that he won't raise taxes. I mean, that's something that I think is important. We have enough money with the billions of dollars in our state budget to do the job. But he just needs to cut the fat in other areas and suffer the anger of people who aren't going to be getting the money. But don't compromise public safety. And so now my position as governor, you're a friend. I support you. However, we have to oppose you if you're about to jeopardize the safety of our kids.
We want to know what you, the viewers, think. Please respond to our survey and be sure to leave your comments below. Number 1, do you agree with Governor Schwarzenegger's current plan to cut the budget for freeway landscaping the same percentage as the cut for public safety? Yes or no? Number 2, do you think the governor should be forced to make the hard choices and prioritize the proposed spending cuts, even if he feels the heat from the special interest groups? Yes or no? Number 3, do you agree that public safety should be the primary purpose of our state government? Yes or no? Please be sure to leave your comments below. Thank you. This concludes our video blog special number 23. If you would like to participate in the Full Disclosure Town Hall and are not on the internet, you can call us at 1-800-867-7777. That's 1-800-867-7777. Or you can go to our website at www.fulldisclosure.net and cast your vote and leave your comments. If you leave your email address or phone number, we'll get back to you. We want you to get involved. Be sure and join us next time for another edition of Full Disclosure. I'm Leslie Dutton. We'll see you then.
Full Disclosure is a non-commercial public affairs program sponsored by the Citizens Protection Alliance. For a transcript or videotape copy of today's program or a listing of airtimes and channels, call our toll-free number at 1-800-867-7777 or visit our website at www.fulldisclosure.net.